Alright everybody, before we even start the video here, I have to take a second and tell you guys about Trevor Howe. Treverhowe. You guys have got to go to his Facebook, check out his music. If you are in the area, book him. He's great. This is our new music, our new theme music that he created for us to go right along with our Hillbilly Herpetology theme. And I just wanted to extend that thank you. As soon as I figure out how to do the link, we will have a link to some of his stuff in our video here, and you guys please enjoy the episode. Hi everybody, welcome to Hillbilly Herpetology. We're here today with Buck, we're here today with the cameraman Erik, and we are here at Erik's place of residence. We're going to be checking out some of his animals today. This is the 50 sub bonus episode. Took us a few days to get it out. We actually have had 5 new subs since then, so we're at 55 right now as we speak, and I gotta tell you, I can't be more thankful. So, first things first, let's meet Buck. Buck here is going to be my new sidekick. We're going to start off videos together. He probably won't show them to you, but he's got some buck teeth here that hang out of his mouth most of the time. And I thought it was kind of cool because I don't have the teeth in my mouth at all, so it kind of correlate, you know, Buck and Webb. So it'll be cool to have him in the videos. But we're going to have you meeting Erik today, and we're just going to get right along with it, meeting all his critters and hearing a little bit about him. Hi everybody, welcome back to Hillbilly Herpetology, where we're going to meet our camera guy, Erik. Erik, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Okay, so just to let everybody know a little bit about you before we start showing off all of these critters you keep, how long have you been in the hobby, or when did you get your first animal?
I bought my first snake when I was 13. I've always been a little into it, but I started keeping when I was 13.
And do you still have the first animal you got?
Yes, actually. I bought this when I was 13, and she's about 15 years old now.
And she was just a baby when you got her?
Yep, tiny little baby.
That is so awesome. That's not something that you hear every single day in the hobby, that, you know, people still have the same animal that they got whenever they first got into the hobby. And so she's kind of what started it all for you, huh?
Yep. Fell in love.
Well, she is gorgeous. And how old did you say she is now?
15.
Wow. 15, and hopefully many more good years. And back with another question and another animal. All right. And what do we have here?
These are my male and female leopard geckos.
All right.
This one's got an attitude.
So it looks like we got a normal and albino.
Yeah, and as you can see, when I got her, she had no fingers from, I guess, past shedding or something, but I've had no problems with her since I've had her.
Yeah, you find that a lot with these guys. Unfortunately, they're marketed as a super easy animal to take care of, and the market's flooded with them, so they're cheap. And a lot of people don't realize that they need to research what animal they're getting, so that way they still know how to take care of it. And so a lot of times things like that can happen, and people don't mean anything by it. It's just, you know, a lot of times when you have your first animal, that's something that can happen.
Right, and the lady was afraid of them.
I'm sure that doesn't help either. But that is a beautiful albino, and it's chill. Okay, so what all animals have you had experience in keeping?
I've kept chameleons, savannas. I didn't have a very good experience with savannas. I used to do a lot of iguanas when I was younger. I have one of them still. Come here.
And so the ball python. Oh,
yeah.
Chameleons.
The chameleons were pretty tough.
I found that too. I don't mess with the camellios anymore.
One and done.
All right, so we're about ready to see some more animals even. But these things are absolutely just gorgeous. All right, so what would you say the most challenging animal you've kept is? We talked about the chameleons. We talked about the savannah. There may be other challenges you've had. What would you say the most challenging thing has been in keeping the animals? What has been the most challenging of all aspects?
I would say Reptar here. He's kind of challenging. He's got sharp claws and he does not like to be handled very much.
Is he considered to be adult size or is he still juvenile? Because I've heard they get huge, but then I don't know, because you hear all these animals get big and then you don't necessarily see that all the time.
I'd say I wouldn't say he's adult size. He's still got quite a bit to go, but he eats a ton.
You guys can't tell, this guy's all over the place. He's been fun, but you could see that's the definition of challenging. We're gonna go to the next one because yeah, this has been a fun one to record. All right, so what would you say your favorite animal that you keep is, and your least favorite animal that you keep is, and why?
I would say my favorite is probably the Nile monitor because he's epic, and I kind of have a personal connection with him, I think. And my least favorite would definitely be the day gecko because he's a pain.
Like, what do you mean by pain? Like what does he do that's such a pain?
If I try to clean his tank out, he's loose in my room for weeks, if not months.
Ooh, we're gonna go on a walkabout. Okay, so weeks or months loose if you open his cage and he gets out, and he always tries to get out, correct?
Every time I open it. He'll run straight for the door.
And what is the snake that you have here?
This is a male pinstripe python, and he's obviously in shed.
How long have you had him? And how old would you think he is?
I've had him for...
Because I noticed he got a good sized head on him.
I've had him for probably a year and a half. I'm not sure how old he is. I got him from my lady that couldn't take care of them anymore.
Very personable snake though, just does not mind being handled at all and just wants to explore and just go. Very cool. And what morph did you say it was?
A pinstripe pastel.
Yeah, gorgeous. Gorgeous snake. So, what would you say the toughest part about having a big collection is?
Oh, I'd just say probably feeding all of them, keeping track of everything.
Feeding all of them. It's difficult to get a lot of food to feed a lot of critters, right?
Yeah. Well, just all the different places you gotta go to.
Yes. It can be a lot. So, would you say that there's times where you're just like, oh my gosh, I've got a lot and it's a lot? Or do you think that every second, but you're like, oh, it's worth it?
I think it's definitely worth it.
So, big collection, there's tough parts of it, but you enjoy it so much that the tough parts, it's like, okay.
It's basically nothing.
So what you got in your hand here?
This is a well, I guess he's gonna poop on me, but this is a Dalmatian Cresty that I had just recently gotten a trade. He's just exploring, probably going up to poop on my shirt.
Yep, this is the first time we've had scat on screen. Very nice, very nice. So, pretty gecko. All right, Eric, what would you say your dream animal would be to have?
I would say I really want an anaconda for some reason. I always have.
Specific type on them, or it wouldn't matter if it was yellow or green?
I like them both about evenly.
I believe the yellow ones stay at a much more manageable size.
That's probably what I would go for. yellow.
So an anaconda, huh?
Yeah, or a dwarf caiman.
And then in that same, a dwarf caiman. Wow, that's like totally different than an anaconda. Okay, so what makes you think the dwarf caiman? What's your reasoning behind that?
I've always liked them since I was a little kid. I've known a couple people that owned them, and they're really cool.
And then, in the same vein as that, on the opposite end of the spectrum, what would you say the most overrated animal in the hobby is?
That's hard to say. I'd have to say probably leopard geckos, just because you see them way more than anything else. It's way easier to come by them than anything else.
Okay, all right. I put you in a spot here asking a hard question, so I guess I'll answer the hard question too. I would have to say that I feel that way about bearded dragons, because they're the people that love them, and I love bearded dragons. But as far as keeping them personally, not my cup of tea, because they are a little boring for me. But I'm used to keeping monitors, so
yeah, I like a little spunkier lizard than what a bearded dragon can.
So what do we have here?
This is a male Mojave ball python.
What a gorgeous, gorgeous snake. I love the patterning in these Mojaves. Just look at that.
I'm not sure of the age on this one either.
Absolutely beautiful.
It's kind of a package deal.
Yeah, they both look like they got some size to them, especially for being males. So, beautiful snakes. I love Mojaves. One of my favorite morphs. And what do we have here?
This is a male Nile monitor. He's pretty chill most of the time. I don't think he likes cameras much.
Most of them don't, but he's still chill. He's not biting, nothing like that, that's for sure. I think probably what it is he smells this. So, where do you want to be, or where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, let's see. Probably just doing what I'm doing.
Probably just doing what you're doing, just keeping going with the animals.
The lizards. I'd like to get maybe a couple more, but my list ain't huge.
Be pretty awesome if we keep this channel going, and in 5 years we have a reptarium.
That would be amazing.
Hey, you can eat this over here. You don't have to run off with it. He's like, I'm gonna go somewhere else and eat this. Okay. All right, guy. We're probably just going to let him eat this back in his cage, because he obviously wants to chill in his cage and eat it. But, guys, this is awesome behavior from a Nile monitor. Let's just point that out and be clear. All right. What would you say the biggest problem that the hobby faces today is?
Trolls.
I actually agree with that. Now, what do you mean when you say that? Let's explain this to people, because people that aren't familiar with the hobby might not understand this. So, explain what you mean.
I mean, just people coming into your videos or whatever you may be talking about, or anything, and just talking about stuff that they don't know anything about.
And telling you that you're doing everything wrong, right?
Right.
And that happens mostly on Facebook, but it happens everywhere.
A lot, everywhere.
But, I mean, I see a bunch of healthy animals when I look at your stuff, and I'm sure you get trolls online telling you all the time stuff, huh?
Yep.
So, what do we have here?
This is a hedgehog that I've had for probably 6 months. And she said he was 6 months old when I got him. I'm not sure how true that is, but he don't seem to want to come out. He really likes the dark.
Yes. Now, I want to see something. I want to see if I can be the hedgehog whisperer like I was yesterday. Let's just see. Yesterday, I just got him to come right out. Let's just see if I'm the hedgehog whisperer.
Yep. I think you proved your...
Ooh. But then he got scared. But I just got it right out. That is epic. Okay. So, yeah, we've seen most of Erik's collection, and we'll see a few more in the future, I'm sure. And I hope everybody enjoyed this subscription bonus episode. Everybody enjoyed getting to meet Erik. He's getting used to being on the camera, but
Yep,
he'll be
sorry,
less camera shy. And I think he did good, guys. I do. But let us know in the comments below if you guys want to come on and be trolls. Let's hear it. I love the comments. So let's hear them. We like trolls here because they comment. So
yep, you got the comment.
Yep. So we'll see you guys later.